Well, good morning, everyone. How are we? Who have we got in the chat this early on a Saturday? We've got Thea. Good morning, Thea. I saw you earlier. The Midnight Assassin. Good morning to you. How are you? Lovely to see you. We've got Jan as well. I'm surprised to see Black Rose here. Morning for a few minutes before I have to leave. Oh, thanks for popping in. How is everyone? Oh, hi, Michelle. Hello from Arizona. What time is it in Arizona? It must be really late at night, is it not? I hope you can hear me okay. We've got a bit of a sad situation this morning. Mr. Jem was super late in last night, and he's still in bed, which is unfortunately adjacent to the cave. So I don't want to talk too loud, but obviously you need to be able to hear me. He will be getting up shortly. We are a very tired household this morning. I couldn't settle last night. Do you know that way? I had my eyes closed, but my ears were open, and I was waiting for Jan here. Jan, you're normally sleeping, are you not? Got the best cup of tea. I've got the biggest cup of tea. This is Mr. Jem's mug, but he gave it to me like yesterday, so I just rinsed it out because this is what awesome. Like obviously it's his. Oh, that is good tea. That's good tea. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well this fine Saturday morning. It is quite overcast when I got up, but the sun's starting to peek out now. Temperature-wise, we're not too bad. And if you believe the forecast, we are going to get rain all week next week. and the temperatures are going to be very manageable, so between like 18 and 21, which is kind of normal for us for summer, but it's nice, you know. Okay, so this morning we're going to be doing some washing. I got quite a nice parcel. For those of you that are in the Discord, you will know that I had ordered some gouache, and basically the story goes back to a little Schminke Horadam tin for watercolor. They brought out basically a vintage version, and it's so cute and it's so pretty. And I thought it would make a really good like travel gouache kit, because one of the things that I want to do in the next couple of weeks is go and sit out round the farm and gouache outside. It's very pleasant in the evenings now, and because we've started to harvest, the flies aren't as bad at night, you know, the beasties, the bugs. So I'm planning on doing that. So I wanted to have the full kit. But in that kit, and the reason that I wanted it is there's space for 5 ml tubes. So I switched out the watercolour ones for gouache ones, and I was one tube short. So I'd ordered that and that came. Um, I came across these lovely Iridori sets from Holbein, and they do them by season, so there's one for every season. Naturally, I plumped for the autumn, and it looks really pretty. I really like it. I haven't actually swatched out any of these yet. So, good morning, Michelle. How are you? And cut her hand to you too. Jan had a bad night, so I'm afraid you may fall asleep. That if you fall asleep, that's absolutely fine. I might as well. That's sorry. So yeah, I've got a painting to start, but I've also got these as well. So my question to you, seeing as you're all first in this morning, you're up early. Do you want to swatch some of these out, or do you want to just go straight to the painting? I won't be using these colours in the painting. So that is the option this morning, and as you know, I like a bit of audience participation. So if you'd like to let me know what you'd like to do, I would be happy to do either or. I don't think I'll have time to do both, because if I start with this painting, I want to get cracked on with it. The Jan's got a great spotted woodpecker at 6 in the morning. Oh no. Jan would like some swatches. Would anyone else like some swatches? Two Michelles. There's quite a few I've got quite a few Susans, and I've got quite a few Michelles, so I like it when people identify themselves. Oh, everyone wants a swatching. Well, not everyone. Two of you want swatching. Oh, okay, Michelle. Like, okay, okay. If you don't have time for both painting, then see, it's too early for decision making. Good morning, Bella Stella. How are you? Nice to see you. Well, the thing is, we've got two more work in progress Wednesdays, so I would be quite happy to start the painting then. Um, I think we'll go with the swatch. If that's what you want, we'll go with the swatching. Why not? I was set up to start painting. The other thing I've got here is I've got this blanket. Although it's summer, I mentioned this before. Our house is it's a concrete floor, so it's actually like the house stays cool for most of the day. And where we are here, this side of the house backs onto the garage, so our garage is like joined onto the house. So this room and our bedroom is the coolest place in the house, and it's a wee bit chilly if you're sitting still first thing in the morning. Hi Dominique, how are you? Okay, so we'll park the painting. We can get to this. That's fine. It's not urgent. This is what I was talking about in the last stream. I've got outdoor lights that are on the side of the house, and they're like traditional like lanterns basically. And I kind of wanted to steal the lantern and put it into like a more sort of fantasy gouache style painting, which obviously is the kind of thing that I like to do. So I did sketch out. I'd want to show you, because I did do my homework before the stream. So I just did some sketches last night of the lantern, and kind of played about with the different styles and different ideas. So that was kind of like the precursor to what I was going to do here. So I've taken the lantern shape and I've hung it on a tree branch, because that makes sense to me, like a little bit better. So that's the plan for that. So we can get to that though. That's fine. So let's just go over to this side. Well, I even had my wee angled shader out and everything ready to do my back. I'll select a different brush for this, and show you the colours that are this set. As I say, so they're all themed. I plumped for the autumn ones because it's got a lot of earth tones in it. And when I paint in gouache, most of you know that I tend to favour either like teal and turquoise or like purple and indigo for, you know, like the sort of theme of the page, if you like. And I want to try and get away from that because when I work in pencil and when I'm drawing, I draw a lot of landscapes, but also animals as well. So like for some reason in my art, there's this disconnect between the two, and I want to join those together because I feel like I should, and I don't paint in the colours that I like to paint in when I'm painting in gouache. That doesn't make much sense. I can't really, brain's not working yet. Anyway, so I thought a good way to do that was to grab some colours. This set is absolutely beautiful, and I'm not going to tell you any lies. These paints are expensive. The Holbein gouache is amazing, though. That and the Schminke gouache are two of my favourites. They are very expensive, but true to form, these more expensive ones, a little bit goes a really, really long way. So although you're paying a lot of money at the outset, these tubes last for ages. You like getting your supplies just so you can swatch. Fair enough. So this set cost me 52 British pounds. So I'll let you do some calculations yourself, but oh my goodness. So there's a wee leaflet here as well, and it tells you a little bit about it, how to use gouache, etc. But it shows you all the different colour sets. So you can see it. I wonder if I can just. So the winter one, for example, you've got some very dark colours, but you've also got this sort of like icy blue. And then, as you would imagine, the summer colours are quite bright, and the spring colours are just. I think if I was going to get another one, this would be my next set. But say they're pretty expensive. If you buy all 4 of them together, you can get them markedly cheaper. I really don't need that much gouache. And the thing with this is as well, it's big tubes. It's the 15 ml tubes. So I mean that's going to last you so long. Those are on your Christmas wish list. Yeah. They're so nice. I say I like Holbein gouache anyway, so might be cheaper for you to get in a plane to Japan and get them. Possibly. Like, don't rule anything out, you know? So yeah, I think I saw I mean I wasn't really in the market for all 4 sets, but I've seen them as cheap as like £180 for all 4, which is a bargain. But as I say, I don't really need any more gouache, but I couldn't resist. And the thing that got me particularly was this blue colour, because you all know I like a good indigo, and I was like, oh well, if that's in it anyway. The one that's intriguing me the most is this one. I thought this was like an ochre colour, and it's antique gold, so I really, really want to see what that looks like. So yeah, we'll do that. So I think what I'll do is I'll just squidge out a wee bit on my highly technical and expensive palette here. Let me just, because I had everything set up to start painting, let me move these things out of the way. Because what I'll do is, I've got my little dragon body here as well to hold my paintbrushes. Ready for service. If I pop that up there, then at least you can see the tubes. I'll just swatch them out on this page. Out the way as well. So I'm trying to use up some of this Arteza gouache. So that's for the background for the other painting, but see, we might get to that. We'll see how we go with this. Angela's never tried a gouache. Oh, gouache is my favourite. I just like, I like it because you've got the opacity of acrylic, and therefore you've got the forgivingness that if you make a really big mistake, essentially you can paint over it. But I also like the fact that you can dilute down gouache as well, and you can get a more watercolory feel. Like, it's very versatile. I like it a lot. It is my preferred medium to paint in. I would also like to address the fact that I've got purple fingers. I did dye my hair. You can see I'm very purple again. And this is when I was drying my hair, left-handed, so hair dried in this hand, and this hand goes through the hair. And unfortunately, for the first day or two, it kind of stains your nails. So my nails aren't dirty; they're just hair color. Is it ridiculous? We see it like that. Anywho, right, let's have a wee go at these. So what have we got? We're starting off with safflower red. These tubes are absolutely full to the gunnels as well. Like they're, I'm surprised the paint isn't like popping out when I open the tubes. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you when I do this, Angela. You'll be able to see. I love gouache. So normally, what I start with when I'm swatching these things out is just a damp brush, a clean damp brush, because you want to be able to see how opaque it is. It usually requires, when it comes out the tube like this as well, you want to kind of manipulate it because it can be quite blobby and viscous. So you want to get it to a consistency where it's smooth on the paper. And weirdly, the camera's picking that up. The colour that it is. Normally with reds, they look quite pink, but that is actually, yeah, that's actually what it looks like. How nice is that? But if I take a little tiny bit of water, you can see there, I'll start to dilute that out a little bit. Rika has one individual tube of Holbein gouache and it's so pigmented I can't imagine it running out yet. So if I start to, so I'm in what, this is watercolour paper in this sketchbook, but you can see there, that's it with a lot of water in it, so you can still get a watercolory type feel with it. But also what it lets you do is if you do water it down, it's good for mixing as well. So you can have, like just say for example, you want to make orange, you can have your red quite watered down, but use like a neat yellow, and that gives you different colours to mix in them if they were both opaque. If you see what I'm saying, it's very, very versatile. I love it. This colour is stunning. That's the red which was needed in the polys. Absolutely, Angela, absolutely. So this is just marked as orange. I'm trying to squeeze out the tiniest amounts because a little bit of this goes a long way. Long, long way. The nice thing about wash as well is you do have to leave it to dry. It dries a slightly different colour to going down wet. So if you're not familiar with the paints, you're best to let them dry completely before you decide what you're doing. You can reactivate them as well, the same as watercolour. If you leave them to dry for a time, you can paint over the top of them quite well with most gouache and you won't disturb the layer underneath, but you can get in there and mix a layer on top of another on the paper as well. So it's good for that as well, but that's quite brand dependent, I would say. Yeah, that's more of like a burnt orange. These are so silky though, like that's so nice. And these ones in particular, they seem to be very mobile in water, like they're really happy for you to add water into them. But you can see like these are two perfectly autumnal colours already. Next up, we've got Gardenia Yellow. So imagine this will be a slightly orangey toned yellow. Mm, it's not, it's green toned. Uh, the camera is most definitely skewing that. That's quite interesting. I would I would call that a dirty yellow. Bella likes the first two. Yeah. See, it's just such a pretty set. It really is. So moving on down, then we've got Amber Cork Yellow. Is this not like a greenish yellow? Yeah, that's like a chartreusey colour. This is back to what we were talking about with the polys the other day as well. This is like a yellow chartreuse. Kind of like this. Oh, Mr. Gem's on the. Hear him. We're alive. Bless him. See that you really can't see the green tone in that. Again, the camera's making that look super, like super saturated. There is a greenish tint to that. We'll wait to see when it dries. It'll probably be easy. Got clean water here as well. That's the other thing with water. I've always got this set up. So I've got a pot for cleaning my brush in. So that one's got my paint puck in it. And then I've got fresh water for diluting and or mixing. And they usually sit side by side. I've actually got a third cup out of shot, and that's like my dump water. So when this gets really groggy, I tip it out just into another cup just now and put fresh water in, so it doesn't taint my painting. Okay, moving on. This is Amber. I can't see anyone calling it dirty yellow on the tube. Well, there is that, Jan. Can you imagine if they gave me the job of naming paint colours? This right, okay, this one, this amber is kind of what I thought this gold one was going to be. Oh, that's nice. Can we see all the autumn leaves? Can we imagine all the autumn scenes? Because I can. I'm guessing that yellow is not as offensive in person as on camera. It's really not. I mean, it is still offensive, but it's not neon offensive. So you can see this, see the dark patch you can see there with the green in it. That's more what all of it looks like. It almost looks like it's granulating actually. But yes, Ulrika, you're correct. Accurate colour names. Well, we've been there with the Prismacolor pencils. We've got a few of those. You know, we've got the standing joke about the not processed red because it's pink. Dominique, September is only 2 weeks away. I know. Favourite time of year. Favourite time of year. I'm almost at that point. Late August is one of my favourite times of year to go running. And I'm surrounded by trees. Like there's trees everywhere here. Because the leaves start to turn on the trees, so you start to see all the colour. But also at the time that I go out running, the sun is rising. So at the latter end of August, I'm out at sunrise and it's amazing. And I take a lot of time to appreciate that because you blink and all of a sudden it's winter and I can't go out running until like 9 o'clock in the morning because it's dark. So, right, we've got elm green here. So now I'm getting excited. We're getting into. But can we just appreciate how well curated this palette is? Like chef's kiss. I think I'm gonna like this green as well. This is like almost the colour of my bedroom walls. Oh yeah. I'm so happy right now. Look how opaque that is as well. Oh my goodness. This is just so much fun. I'm glad you guys picked us watching. Oh wow. Okay, best of luck with your balcony, Black Rose. I hope everything goes well. You can report back to us later. Okay. Autumn's your favourite season too? Yeah, me too, Angela. Absolutely, 100%. Closely followed by spring. That's such a good cup of tea this morning. Really enjoying my tea this morning. Ooh. Okay, what have we got now? Pine tree green. So elm green and pine tree. These are lush. I have to say, no, I'm not one for impulse buys. I'm usually quite sensible with stuff like that, but I couldn't help myself. Couldn't help myself. And do you know what? I'm really glad. Oh, that's nice as well. Oh my goodness, these greens are amazing. That like these are so pigmented. This is outrageous. Like you really hardly need any paint at all. So nice. I just sort out. I always use kitchen towel or kitchen roll, whatever you call it for this. I do have rags to clean my brushes, but when I just want to get like the last few remnants off, I prefer kitchen paper. I don't know why. Um, weird. Just got a bit of a thing about that. Strange. I'm in love with these. It is very pine tree. Angela's moving downstairs to make tea. Oh, just, please take your time, especially if you've got knees and stairs involved. That's not necessarily a good combination. Bella's an autumn and winter gal, want to live in a place where it's 75% autumn, 25% winter. Like the sound of that too. Hi Katara, how are you? Nice to see you. How you doing? Obviously not morning for you, but lovely to see you. Just to catch up, anyone that's come in recently, we're swatching out the Holbein Iridori autumn set that I bought accidentally on purpose because I was quite excited about buying gouache. And so far they're absolutely lovely. So, but this is the first time, other than opening the box and going, ooh, this is the first time I've actually touched them. So we're in this together this morning. Almost 11. And you're just peachy. Was that sarcasm? Okay, this one, not leaf green, but leek green, as in the vegetable. Tea is calling. Yeah, this is more of a normal person's green. Yeah, more like a true green. Oh, this is so good. I'm having so much fun. Didn't know I could have this much fun at 6:45 in the morning. But this is going quick, this one. No, we started at half. I'm thinking we started at 6 o'clock. I was like, how have we been here nearly an hour already? We haven't. Go on, Jen. Okay, so just to go back up, because these have started to dry now. You can see that this orange colour isn't quite dry, so this is the wet bit here. But do you see how flat matte these colours are when they're dry? I'm directing this specifically to the people that haven't used gouache. You get this really flat matte finish, but you can mess about with it. This one here, the dark patches you can see they're actually dry, but that is the green in the actual pigment, so that's almost separated a little bit, so that's quite interesting. I would like to sort of fart about with that a bit more before I use it, I think. But yeah, these are just yes. Right, what have we got now? Smoked bamboo. I don't have my glasses on and I thought that said smoked tobacco. I was like, really? Okay. Nope, I'm usually in a good mood. I have a weekend of good socialising with equally extroverted people, so I'm riding a social high. Excellent. I'm the opposite. I'm like, I want everyone to leave me alone. Ah, I've got I don't really want an exciting weekend. See, because I'm tired as well. Like I don't want excitement. But today's busy. So after the stream, again for any of you that were in on Wednesday, you'll remember this conversation. In my local town, which isn't a particularly big town, there is there is a scrapbooking shop. It is actually a dedicated scrapbooking shop, which I was incredulous about when I found out when I moved. They are having a table sale today. So basically everyone can de-stash their scrapbooking supplies, and you might get a wee bargain. So the shop's quite big as well, though they do like workshops and classes and stuff. So I am once the stream's over, I'm basically making myself socially acceptable, presentable, and I'm gonna head down to that down in the town. Then got doggies to walk, and I am back to the saga of painting the outside of the house. So I'm now on the front of the house, and I would like to get the first coat on the front of the house today. So, and the good thing is on that side of the house, it doesn't see the sun during the day. It's much, much later in the evening, so I won't bake if I'm out painting as well. This one's called Bark Brown. And the combine harvester is here as well. So yeah. Oh, this is a really nice warm brown. So there's lots going on. Um, Tomorrow I haven't been running as much as I should be. Normally I'm running 4 times a week. Um, I've only run once this week, but I'm planning on going out on Sunday morning. So, and it's a big run on Sunday, so I'm going to be over 9 miles on Sunday. So I'll be getting up first thing to do that on Sunday, and then truthfully, I plan on doing not very much with the rest of my Sunday. And I'm off work on Monday. I've got the hospital on Monday. I'm not looking forward to. It's a 2-hour appointment, and it's one of these you're not allowed to eat anything and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not really looking forward to that either. So I'd like to have as quiet a day as possible tomorrow after my run, which I tend to do anyway because when I run that distance, for me personally, my legs are quite fatigued afterwards. I need at least a couple hours just to kind of like sit about and not do much. It doesn't take me out for the entire day, but like when I get back, I know I've run 9 miles. So I'm taking it a wee bit easier tomorrow, but that's tomorrow. We'll deal with today first. I think this might be my favourite brown. This is lovely. I'm really into that. What was that one called? Bark brown. Okay. Even just sitting on the palette, though, look. Okay, indigo. Woo! Excited about the indigo. Oh, you like that one too, Rika? Yeah, me too. Hope this indigo fulfills all my hopes and dreams. You all know I love a good indigo. Oh, this is promising. Oh, this is promising. Would you look at that? Do y'all like the fact that I put my what I call my painty pajamas on today as well? I think it's supposed to be like a marble pattern, but I think it looks like paint. These are actual pajamas. I don't wear them very often because it's shorts. And in Scotland it's not normally warm enough to wear shorts and t-shirt in bed. But I thought that was quite fitting for today. I haven't had them on since last summer either, and they're a lot baggier than they were last summer, so that's nice too. I'm not really sure about this. That doesn't look very indigo-y to me. Am I on my own here? See when it's diluted out like that? That doesn't look like indigo to me. Are you taking gels with you on your long run? That was quick, Angela. My goodness. I do not. Uh, uh, Long and involved story. Basically, I've got an iron constitution. I love really spicy food and I can eat almost anything. The minute I start to run, my stomach goes, nope. Right, so this is the antique rich gold. This is what I thought was going to be like an ochre type colour, and it's not. It's actually shiny. They've put shiny paint in it. Yeah, and it took me a long time to figure out how the hell to work around that. I can't like see even eating before a run, it doesn't work well for me and it never has. I got to the point where I managed to force myself to eat half a banana and drink a cup of tea before I go for a run, and I've still got to wait a good 40 minutes before I go out. Otherwise my stomach's like, no, this is coming back up. I tried every gel, tablet, like Lucozade, like sports drink. Nothing works for me when I'm actually running. And usually they tell you that if that happens, the best thing to do is to start eating nuts, which I can't have either. So the thing that has saved me is raisins and stoned dates, obviously very high sugar content. So if I'm out on a long run and I'm at that point where I do need to fuel when I'm on my run, I can do like I think about 8 miles is about my limit without having anything at all. So tomorrow I will be getting up a bit earlier and forcing half a banana, which is very, very unpleasant. But when I go out running, I will take a bag of raisins with me. I've got a little hydration belt and it's got little bottle pockets and ducats and everything in it. Um, and I will have a bag of raisins in there. And at about the 5 kilometre mark, so the 3 mile mark, that's when you start eating. And that gives your body time to start breaking it down. So when you get to the later part of your run, you're building right. So long story short, gels absolutely not. Give me like an instant upset stomach. Um, Now as well, the other thing that I take on my runs when I get to this sort of distance is toilet paper, because you just never know. So yeah, you're getting into like sort of more serious running territory. It's not just like stick your shoes on and off you pop for a wee run. You know, you've got to kind of like plan things out. Don't know how I feel about this metallic gouache. Mm, it's very shimmery, like it's very very metallic-y. So I suppose that's nice. Dominique says Prussian blue. I'm glad it's not just me. It's lovely though, but that's not indigo. Wonder what's going to happen. Like in my head with this metallic one, I'm like, is this going to go like Julia Kay paints if I? That's my stomach. That's because we're talking about food. My stomach's rumbling. Obviously, I haven't had anything to eat. Okay, that's behaving remarkably like a Julia Kay watercolor. Hmm. But look, shiny, like outrageously shiny. Yeah, the gels are disgusting. Like I don't like them. Ugh. They taste really like just really synthetic. I don't like them at all. I say it's the same. A lot of people can't take gels, but they can take the actual drinks. But I'm like, oh no. I have two flasks when I go out for a run. They're 9 ounce American, so they're about that size. And I have water in one, and then I have one that's got really weak, like diluted juice in it. So for anyone outside of the UK that doesn't have diluting juice, basically it's like a concentrate that you add water to. We drink a lot of that here in the UK, so I have like a really weak mixture of that made up. And I've got this like little weird rule that I'm not allowed to touch the juice until I've had all the water. There's no reason for it. It's just like a reward, you know. But yeah, I'm usually well organised. That one's a disappointment in an otherwise great set. Are you referring to the blue or the gold, Jan? Quite possibly, Ulrika. I don't know. That's something if you're feeling researchy, you could look that up. The gold would be good on a dark colour. Well, yeah, I was thinking if you wanted to use black paper, that would be a nice way to do it. Thanks for popping in, Michelle. It was really nice to see you. I'm glad you enjoyed the swatching as well. Oh, Jan says the gold. Oh no, I think I quite like it. Again, these kind of things have their place though. Do you know what will be nice though? Because what I would use that for is details. You know, you wouldn't necessarily put that over an area, but if I'm working on a painting, instead of having to go and get a gold gel pen or one of Julia's paints, obviously this is opaque, so you would just use it straight out the tube with like a liner or something. Yeah, so like something like this brush, you know, and you could get some really nice details because that in its concentrated form. Let's see how we go here. Yeah, that's going to be nice. I was thinking like hinges on an old chest or something. Do you know what I mean? Like I think that's what I would use it for. Look, oh, he's so shiny. No, I'm quite glad they've included that. It's a nice sort of, it's a nice addition when you've got a set of colours like that. But that, I mean, I think you'll agree, I like them. I'm really into that. Super into that. I'm gonna just write a green. I'm these green Bic pens. I buy these in a pack. I like the orange ones because they've got a finer point on them than the ones that have got the clear barrels. And the cheapest way for me to get them is to get them in a set. So there's blue, black, red, and green. But the green's a really weird colour, and I never write with them because they're a weird colour. So I might as well use it for this. Ugh, I haven't used it, so obviously it's not scribbling. It's like a really weird shade of green. I don't know if any of you have seen these or are used to these, but it's a really odd colour. Should I put the colour names on? I suppose I should, shouldn't I? They're really nice. Well, there's a wee challenge for you, Jan. Find a way to work in some shiny. Great for writing insane letters of complaint. I do think, see, just the process of swatching this out, I do think I'll put some pennies together and get the winter set as well, because this has made me really happy this morning. I'm trying not to touch these bottom paints because they're still wet. And then we had like good old fashioned. That dry enough to lean on, yeah. Gardenia yellow, that's what it was called. I do want to play about more with this Amber Cork yellow because I don't think I did that, you know, the word didn't really give it justice. This was Amber. This was Pine. No, this was Elm Green. I think that one's my favourite. Like, that is so flat matte, it is untrue. And if I just... Let me just auto focus it. Oh. Like, I hope you can see how matte that is. It's ridiculous. So good. Like, so good. Love it. This one was Pine Tree. Green. Leek green, not leaf green. Smoke tobacco. Bamboo. Bark brown. Not 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 indigo. That is such a lovely colour though, but it's just not indigo. I think that's probably my biggest disappointment in the set, honestly, and even at that, it's not really a disappointment at all because it's still a really bright colour. And this was Antique Rich Gold. There we go. I say I just want to have another do with this. Here's my big brush going on it. You look at the colour of my water now. This is where obviously if I was painting something I'd be tipping that out and getting fresh water. But seeing as we're just farting about with swatches, it's fine. Yeah, so let me just... The other nice thing about gouache as well, because you can activate it with water, if it dries on your palette, you just plop like a tiniest bit of water in and it just starts moving about again. It's great. Just want to see if that needs like mixed a little bit more maybe. See, you can now, regardless of whether it's wet or dry, you can see where that green pigment is. Like that's not because it's wet, that's just the green pigment. So this seems to be, is there such a thing as a granulating wash? Am I learning something new here today? Of course, it's all in Japanese as well, which doesn't help. It is labelled, it's labelled as a semi-opaque. Again, can you see that little circle there that's got it's half black and half empty? That denotes a semi-opaque or semi-transparent, whichever way you want to look at it. Usually they talk in opacity. So there is a degree of the fact that they want, you know, the paper to show through. And if I grab, I more or less guarantee if I grab the elm green, this should be opaque. Oh no, that's a semi-opaque one as well. Oh, I'm surprised at that. I wonder if we've got like a full opacity. Interesting. Of course, these are all in there. Oh no, they're all semi-opaque. Wow. Okay. I seem to feel a real difference between this one and the other ones, and say part of it is this sort of weird colour mixing type thing. I wonder what happens. I just grab a little bit. Again, that's two colours that I would quite often blend together. Like, you know, maybe not as watery as that to be fair, but that's two colours that I would mix on the, like actually on the paper. So that green might actually help that along a little bit. That's kind of good to know because it seems as if someone's actually dumped that colour into the yellow. Because if I go back up here, see that sort of waterline that's round the outside there? That is very close to the gardenia yellow. It's very similar. I know it's difficult for you to see on the camera. We're kind of overexposed there. It's almost as if they've just mixed those two together to make that colour. So obviously now we're going to try that and see what happens, see how good our colour mixing is. The Prussian blue looks darker. Interesting. And they have a blue-black called Seiboku, which looks nice. Nero wants his breakfast. Go and feed the kitty. Okay, so let's see how this goes then. So here's my gardenia yellow. And then grab a little bit of that elm green. That was too much elm green. I'm saying like there's so much pigment in this, it's untrue. I should really have just done this in the palette, but that wouldn't be any fun. Yeah, see, I feel like that's where it was going. Out of gardenia yellow. That's not a sentence I say often with gouache. Yeah, so if you just compare that to what's going on up here, makes sense. Anyway, good to know. Right, I think what I'm going to do is it's 7:15, so we're not quite at halfway mark. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and clean off my palette. And empty out the swamp water, make myself a fresh cup of tea, and when we come back we can start painting. That was quite a nice little adventure this morning though, because that was obviously something I wanted to do anyway. So I'm glad to have shared that with you this morning, and I think you'll agree that that is a beautiful set of colours. And as I say, hopefully now I can get my finger out and I will put these to good use in the next maybe 2 months or so when all the trees start to turn. I think what I do want to definitely do, again, some of you will know about this from the Discord, one of the walks that I go on with my dogs, there's this one little tree and it's got an impatient limb. And while everything round about it is still green, this one branch, which sticks out quite far from the rest of the tree, it's almost as if it's in a hurry for autumn, and the leaves turn on that one branch really quickly, and it does it every year. So I think I might have to paint the impatient branch with these watercolours, because the leaves turn the most beautiful colours. So that might be a nice starting point. There isn't really anywhere for me to park myself down there though, because it's basically like a crossroads in the farm track, so it's like a dirt track, and there's not really anywhere. I'll have to take a blanket or a wee fold out chair or something with me. I'll get peace down there though. Interestingly, that tree that we're talking about is next to the green door again, so if some of you have seen my other gouache paintings, it's right next to the green door. It's funny. The Black Panther has been fed. Jan calls it an eager tree. See how we've got very different viewpoints. Jan calls it an eager tree, I call it an impatient tree. Right, guys, you now have permission to talk about whatever is your next meal. For those of you in the UK, obviously, well, I'm assuming that would be breakfast. The impatient branch. Well, maybe, I don't normally name my pieces, but maybe if I paint it, that's what I'll call it, Bella Stella. That's a good idea. I like that. I say I'll be back in a wee jiffy. I will be a few minutes. I say I'm nearly out of tea. So feel free to talk amongst yourselves, and Ulrika is here, so you can pester her about what she's making today. That is like your official job role now, Ulrika. It's like a chief meal prep officer. Alright, I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. That was a bit frantic. Obviously, Mr. Jim's up, so we haven't actually spoken since late last night. And even at that, it was a few sort of mumbled words because when he came in, as I say, I was trying to sleep, but I was awake. So he's just informed me that that was 1:15. So in essence, I've had like 3 and 3/4 hours sleep. So that's why I feel tired. But he's very tired. So we were just kind of like trying to sort out what's happening today and what's getting combined and who's doing what and dogs and like absolute chaos for 7:30 on a Saturday morning. But that's really normal for us at this time of year. Anyway, I've got my palette all cleaned up in one thing and another. What have I missed in the chat? Bella Stella was a way to make tea as well. Yes, I am suitably topped up. You know, though, that this cup of tea is not going to be as good as the first one. It never is. That's just the way the game works. Salad for sure today at 37 degrees. Oh no. Ulrika, increased humidity. Oh no. Oh, foodie YouTube channels. Peach pie. Oh, overcast and quite chilly. Yeah, we're the same. It's probably like just on feel. I just had Jock out there. It's probably about 16 degrees here just now. It doesn't feel that humid either, honestly. But again, I think we're very, very lucky with the weather. So our weather forecast for next week is rain and temperatures about 18-20, which is just lovely. My main concern is usually what the temperature is going to be at like 6 o'clock in the morning because that's when I'm out running. And tomorrow morning, it's not to start raining until about 10 o'clock. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's to be 11 degrees with 89% humidity. The humidity's fine when it's that cool. It's no problem at all. It's actually like perfect running conditions. So I'm all up from a 9 mile run in the morning. Like I'm remotely excited about that. But yeah, we're extremely lucky. And next week as well, and this is what happens in Scotland. During the day, we still have very pleasant and mild temperatures. I mean, 18 degrees is warm for us here. But what happens is at night it starts to drop down quite cold. So next week at night time we're going down into single figures at night. So it's like 8 or 9 degrees at night. And that's autumn telling you it's on the way, and I love that. That's like my favourite thing ever. So personally very excited about that. As I keep saying though, I wish I could just scoop you all up and bring you up here because it's much, much more bearable. I say Thursday was unpleasant. It was 28 degrees on Thursday, which is very warm for us. And you've got to remember that we're not climatized even to 28 degrees in the summer. That's not normal for us. So, but we've got it significantly better than like everyone else. And I just wish I could share it all with you because I know some of you are having a really, really hard time with the weather. The preppy kitchen, is that what it's called? Oh, it's fine, Angela. Like we're used to it. It gets very tiring. But you know, it comes to an end eventually. But it feels like it goes on forever. And we're just like we're in the thick of it just now, and it's so much earlier this year again because of the weather. Compared to the first year. So this is us. We're into our fourth. Can you believe we've been 3 years at this cave? This is us into our fourth harvest. And compared to the first year, we are a full month earlier. Um, so yeah, I mean, I wasn't quite prepared for that, but here we are. Uh, it's just the way of things, though. Right, I need to kind of rearrange myself here a wee bit. Get back to where we look at the pretty colours. Right, tea over there. I'm going to um I'm going to mask this off. I do like a wee border. I'm not so sure how sticky this particular washi tape is. I had a bit of a clear out. See, after the scrapbooking on Wednesday, I just pulled everything out and I was like, right, I'm gonna sort this out. So I did that and I kind of rearranged things and I came across um a box of washi tapes that like this, you know, this reminds me of like some 80s wallpaper that my grandparents had, or maybe even my mum and dad had. It's not the most appealing to me, so I tend to keep the less pretty things for masking off edges rather than you know, for shop orders, because I always put washi tape around the labels on the stash shop orders. And I'm like, this one's not pretty enough. So we'll see how it goes. It seems to be fairly sticky though, so you know. Theoretically, the temperatures are supposed to drop a bit here, but I believe it when I put on long trousers. Yeah, well, we've had lots of that. When I went out with the dogs on Thursday, that's the first day. Normally, I wear like tall riding boots. Again, I've talked about these before. They call them lifestyle boots, but they're styled on horse riding boots, so they come all the way like up to your knee. Um, you do get quite warm in them though, and Thursday was the first day where I was like not taking the dogs out with those boots on, and I actually put my running shoes on, um, just because otherwise I was going to die of hotness, and that was quite early in the morning as well. Bella Stella really needs to move to Scotland. Yes, you do. It's absolutely grim in the winter though. Don't kid yourself on. Michelle must be the only person in the UK who's loving the heat. I think you might be on your own with that one. I'm not a great lover of heat anyway. But that's very much my Scottish genetics stand out first and foremost there. I'm just a person that functions really well in the cold. Much prefer the cold weather. Can't wait for winter. Love going for a run at -4 degrees, no problem at all. Don't like it other than that. Angela loves the sticker I sent in your order this week. What sticker did I send you? I've packed a lot of shop orders. Ulrika's painting later, making card for a friend. It's her birthday next week. They love Studio Game. Oh, that sounds yay! Are you doing it in gouache? Yes, we'd like to see that. Dominique lives in a desert. Cool. Weather doesn't happen until after Halloween. Yeah. Yes, I'm excited to see your painting as well, Ulrika. If you want to share, if you feel like you want to share, please do. Okay. Right, let's get painting again. So that was a pleasant little interlude, to be fair. Okay, so I picked out the angled shader specifically because let me just kind of rearrange myself here. I've got some nooks and crannies. I don't want to go all over. I want to try and preserve some of my pencil lines here. I do, however, need an eraser because I've got some wayward lines that I'd like to get rid of. Jan got a witch's hat as her sticker. Not sure what I tried to say there. See, there you go, Jan. It was a witch's hat one. Those were some of the ones that Cal had sent me when she sent the big bundle um of scrapbooking supplies, and I felt for the pre-order pencils, I felt like, you know, something a bit different would be nice just because it was pre-order. Mixed media watercolor underpainting and gouache for details. Oh, I can't wait, Ulrika. Here's Jock. Hello. Are you alright this morning? Are you good as boy? There's Pippi as well. Hi, Pip. And good morning. Yeah, their noses are a bit out of shape because normally first thing in the morning I'm usually the first one up, so it's me that greets the dogs and fusses over them. And obviously today that was not the case. And when I was through just there on that break, I was like petting them really quickly. I was like, guys, I've got to go. Jock has assumed the position. Right, I think roughly that's what I want to keep. I'm not too bothered about lightening my pencil lines up either because the gouache will cover it. Um, this area here, we're going to have a glow from the lantern. I can put this onto manual focus. Um, so I want to make sure there's no pencil lines there because sometimes with the paler colours, you do see a wee sneaky poking through and we don't want that. Right, much happier with that. Okay, so here I have, I've got lemon yellow and I've got lime green, which is what I'm going to use in this immediate area. And then in these corners, I'm just going to start mixing in a little bit of black to make that darker. I do have what they call pale green, but it's very much like this sort of colour. So I might just do it sort of gradually. I'll start in the centre, work my way out, and all shall be well. So let's just squidge out a bit of this to start with. So the other thing as well is when you're working with gouache, if you're going to use it for the whole thing, you can kind of employ the same process as you would for oil painting. So fat over lean. So your initial layers you want thinner, more watered down, and it lets you build. It's also easier to blend slightly diluted gouache as well for obvious reasons. So let's just get this mixed and moving. See, I've picked this angled shader because it's easier to get in the sort of nooks and crannies. So I'm making this pretty watery to start with. And it doesn't have to be exact, but I do want to avoid certain aspects and areas. And that is going down smooth as a baby's bottom. Exactly what we're after. Jock is very itchy this morning. I'm going to have to give him some medication. I don't know whether he's scratching. Jock! Jock! Hey! Maybe have this up to here. So it doesn't have to be exact. It's not an exact science. You like watching how glows with hello desert news? We're doing the glowy thing this morning. So you're making a start anyway. And then get some of this up around here. I kind of like the waywardness of gouache as well. Nothing has to be an exact science. I say that's what I like about it. But you've still got precision and that ability to mix things in as needed. See now here, there's an interesting point straight off the bat. I thought I had enough of that. This is the Arteza gouache. It's not, it doesn't go as far as the more expensive brands. It's very serviceable as a gouache to use. I like it, but you don't get the same mileage out of it as you would get from the likes of the Holbein that we were just talking about there. It's just not the same thing. But yeah, I mean, most of the time with these kind of things, you get what you pay for. Underestimated there though. Okay, I'm going to squeeze out a wee bit of this screen and just see what's going on. How offensive does that look on the camera? You guys are like, oh, my eyes. I'm going to need more of that as well. Come on, Jem. I'm not even bothering to clean my brush. I'm just going straight in there. Doc. Oh, this poor boy. He's quite often very itchy first thing in the morning, and it's usually because he's been hot in his bed all night. But we'll definitely be medicating him up today. Keep him happy, keep him comfortable. So I've got a kind of tree trunk coming down round there. That blended in a little bit. Say rough as you like because we'll be doing a lot more work on this. Nothing fancy. I'm trying not to wipe out my creepy tree branch here too much. And then this is where I'm going to grab and get the finger painting during an art therapy session. I don't know if I fancy that. Okay, so let's scoop up this green, move it over here. Grab a teeny bit of black. That was too much, way too much black. Goodness me. Too much black. Better. Better. So I'm going to put this up in this top corner here. I really need to water that down. Got a bit overexcited there. Just making my way around my branches and whatnot here. I just wanted to add a little bit of interest in that very top edge there, so I thought I'd have that bit sticking out. There we go. Look at the colour, the colour of that water. Oh my god. I'm a great fan of not mixing my paint completely on my palette as well. You know, to give you, sometimes it gives you like a marbled effect. That can be quite fun. I quite like that sometimes. But I just, at this point here, just want like a rough blend. You know, so you know where the sort of colour changeovers are. Of that bit there. Yes, yes, yes. It looks like a pumpkin. Hello, other Michelle. We were just saying earlier we've got quite a few Michelles. One we've had, I think we've lost a Michelle though, haven't we? We've gained a Michelle. Love it when that happens. I think I want like a sliver of darker green. I've got far too much. So just in like this sort of furthest point here. Like just a weeny wee bit. Like there maybe. Can't unsee the pumpkin now. For the time being, we'll unpumpkin it directly. I'm not mad if you see a pumpkin. I'm not mad about it. Again, now maybe just maybe, this would be lighter here in this middle section. We could maybe even sneak in a wee tiny bit of that lighter colour. Tips padding about. She's discombobulated and we're very routine centric here normally, and this morning's a bit of an anomaly for her, so she's kind of like bobbing about, not really knowing what she wants to do. Petition for an autumnal pumpkin painting next. I'm up for that. Pumpkins. Okay, I'm going to have to leave that to dry for a little bit. So the next thing then, the next logical step is to work on the middle of this lantern. So I want to grab some white to clear a space on my palette here. Goodness me. Things have gotten a bit wayward from the get-go. Clear myself a wee space. There we go. Ta-da! Turn that round that way. Some white in this corner. So this is the Talons plain white. I use this just as a mixing white, and it seems to work really well for me. Like this is one of my favourite whites, so it's very reliable. We like reliable. So let me grab a round brush for that. I don't want that. It's not what I was looking for. Where are all my round brushes? Okay. Good old sea white. get some of this white going. And I want this to be in the middle here. Wow, that looks ridiculous on the camera. So again, we'll build this up. That's just the starting point. So we'll let that sit for a minute. This is the only thing about painting when you're doing a live stream is sometimes there's a bit of sitting about, which, you know, there's not much you can do about that. It's just part and parcel of it. And in terms of the tree, for a base colour, again, I probably won't mix, although I've got some of that green left. Oh, I might still need that green for the outside. Okay. Sorry, just brain farting out loud. Where's my browns? See, I'm very organised. I think I want to go for something like, do I want a burnt umber? Don't see why not. This looks like a disaster on the camera. Oh, we're going to have to mix this. Goodness me. Yeah, we'll go a burnt umber. And this is like just base coat, so it's not really, honestly, not super important. Because there's going to be quite a lot of layers. Oh, well seen, this paint's been sitting in the tube, goodness me. So that's just the pigment and the binder have separated. It's really, really common. Just give it a good mix and everything's all right. I've got a blob there, goodness me. I'd like some fresh water in that. And that is quite runny. Okay. That's a lot. Got a little knobbly bobbly bit there. High pip. Just pacing back. Mmm. Chocolatey. Got to concentrate here. Can't talk and do this at the same time. Sometimes I forget to breathe when I'm doing stuff like this. Like, this is such a meaty brush. I don't normally use a brush this size, a size 12, but these sea white brushes, these are the ones I sell in the stash shop. They've just got a really good point on them. So you can carry a lot of paint, despite being a synthetic brush, you can carry a lot of paint. And it still gives you a fairly good degree of accuracy. So you can see now that I've put that brown in there, that area looks a lot lighter. As if, you know, some of the lights obviously escaped up past the branch, the bough. we'll do a bit more work on that. As I say, that's just the initial layer. Kind of want that. Fun, fun, fun. You don't realise you're holding your breath until you breathe out. Yep, like that. So I'll probably do a bit more with the shape of these branches just as we go along. Again, one of the joys of the opacity of gouache. You can paint over, even if it's really dark underneath, you can paint over it. But I do want a level of detail in the tree trunk and the branch, because that light's obviously going to be bouncing off it, and trees by nature are very textured. So that's like one of the areas where we want to concentrate on, a bit further down the line when we're a bit further on with the painting. But it's these kinds of things that I always have in my head before I start. Like, that's something that I've thought about and think, right, that's what I want to do. So much as I like to fly by the seat of my pants, that there are aspects that it's beneficial for you to plan out. And most people will plan out a painting. I just tend not to, just because I can. It's probably not the best reason, but I keep saying it. I'm here to have fun. And if not having a plan equals fun, then why not? Oh, balls that up. Better. But we're looking a bit more sensible already. Like it a lot. Like it a lot. Love it when a plan starts to come together. Want to make sure this brush is really, really clean. Again, we're back to like swamp water here. Oh, reposition myself a wee bit. Okay, so now I'm going to take. I really want clean water. What you say? Tip out my swamp water. Ugh. Save it for later. I always keep a jar of fresh water with a lid on it to stop dog hair and dust getting into it. Keep it out of sunlight. Always got that to hand. To be fair, I use enough water for it to be, for that it doesn't sit stagnant for any length of time, maybe a day or two at most. Oh, better, better, better. Yep, so now that I've got some nice clean water as well, excuse me, I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to start mixing in a little bit of white and much thicker consistency. Move this over so it's much thicker consistency than that initial layer. Get like more of a lemony colour. Start building that a little bit. And you can't really see that on the camera, we're so overexposed. I'm going to have to speak to someone about this camera. There must be a way to fix this. I have tried every setting, and to be fair, I mean, I don't know much about cameras because it is a proper digital camera that I've always used. It must be to do with the exposure and the white balance. That's a pretty good circle. I'm impressed with myself. One has surprised oneself at this time of the morning. So you can see while that paint's wet there, you can see where I'm building that out. And if I tip it slightly, you can see almost that outer ring there. Good. That's what we want. I do want the inside of the lantern to be slightly paler than this outside edge. So I'm just working away with that sort of lemon yellow that we've mixed. This is obviously in behind some glass. I wonder what happens if I've tried this before, but if I turn off the overhead light now. That's not much better, is it? No. There's no point in me sitting in the dark. I just wanted to see if that would look better in the lens for you guys, but it's kind of different. Okay, now we're jamming. Now we are jamming. Sometimes plan paintings do sketches, but I really follow my sketch. Well, I usually find that for me, I like to sketch out like the main element of whatever the painting's going to be, and it's just to get more comfortable with whatever it is, like lanterns. I tend not like the composition part of it. I do that a bit in my brain. I very rarely draw that out, and if I do, it's like a really, really, really rough thumbnail. But hey, here we are. Okay, squeeze myself out. So I'm going to start working. This is fairly dry now, so I'm going to start working a bit more on this background area. Oh, I've got a dog hair in there. Oh no. We don't want to talk here. So that's just some more of the yellow. I'm just going to stick with this round brush now. Grab a little bit more of my green. I'm just going to take a damp brush here. Got a bit of black or something there, goodness me. Just like squishing that back and forth there, like up and down. So up in these top corners as well, and start working on making this a little bit darker. So just a tiny bit of black in the corner. Then just pull that out a little bit. Helps if you can see the corner. So almost when you're doing these edges like this, you almost want like a dry brushing technique because that gives you texture. And it just makes it look a little bit less paint strokey. Another excellent technical term here at the cave this morning, obviously. I'm trying to see where I think the top of my tape's like there. I think. Yeah, it's there. Start to dab that out. So I'd love to hear everyone's plans for their weekend. I'm sure plenty of you will be doing semi-exciting things, not like me painting my wall of my house. It looks a bit like a smiley face with a hat and a big nose in the middle at the moment. Like a clown nose, Jan. Again, I think we could probably pop some black down in this corner. Just a quick drive down the A1M to catch up with a friend. Well, that sounds good to me. Okay, I'm going to go back to this angled shader Sure, this is almost dry. Starting to lift the paint there a wee bit. I don't know if you can see that or not. Not quite dry enough to do that with. Impatient, impatient. But you can see we're starting to get like a bit of atmosphere now. And that's really, really what we wanted. That's the plan. I'm not very happy with this section up here. Make sure it's dry enough. Oh, my morning birdies have arrived. They've announced their presence. Just getting that little bit of light up there. I'm assuming that the conversation that's going on between Jan and Angela is about drawing or painting. Did I miss something? Oh no, Angela's trying sketching for the first time. Yeah, do it. Do not, absolutely. Jan's like 100% correct. Do not worry about the outcome because you never get any better unless you start somewhere and you need to draw lots of things lots of times. It's a process. And the same thing I always say as well is nobody needs to see them. Like, you don't have to share them with anyone. It's not a thing if you don't want to. So just go for it. I am having paint issues today. Look at them. Look at my stripes. We don't want stripes. Everything's drying really quickly. I think that's half the problem here. Just want to get this a bit smoother, and it's not wanting to smooth. Oh, there we go. Hi. Like, that seems really dry, really dry already. Goodness me. Let's come on now. I think it's maybe a wee bit warm for mixing on the paper today. Although, I've brought that in too far now. That needs to be further out. That's because I've been blending the wrong way. Okay, I'm gonna leave that to dry. We'll fix that side in a minute. In the meantime, just fill in some gaps on this side. A sketchbook is like a diary just for you. That's a really good way to put it, Thea. That's a very good description. It's basically a visual diary. That's one of the things, and I think it's quite weird, but now that Thea's said that makes it even weirder. See, non-arty people, if they're nosy and they want to know what you're doing and you're sitting with your sketchbook, loads of people ask, "Can I look through your sketchbook?" And I'm like, no. And it seems to be like just a non-arty person thing, but people ask that a lot, and I always find it really strange. I'm like, because the first words out my mouth are always, "There's nothing exciting in it. It's a sketchbook. It's just rough sketches." And people are like, "Oh," I just find it really odd. Like, I struggle with that one. I don't like it when people ask that. I'm like, "No." Then I have to remember that I have to say that politely instead of going, "No." Good Jim. Preparing for a house inspection and hopefully get some work done on two-piece of mixed media class. Ooh, that sounds fun. An 8-year-old who's sitting down and sketching too. Yeah, right, that's allowed though, that's different, isn't it? Number one, it's an 8-year-old, and secondly, fellow sketcher, different thing, isn't it? Oh, that's so what is going on with this paint this morning? My God. Having issues this morning, guys. Don't know what to do with that. I might try and just blot that. Okay, that's not the end. This paint is neither one thing nor the other this morning. I actually don't know what's going on. I don't like it at all though. Like it's not even going on the paper, but if I'm putting any water in it, it's just turning to. Hmm. Okay. It's any better down the bottom there, not really. See, that's blending fine. Oh, I just don't know this morning. Okay, that bit's blending fine, which is weird. Don't know. I was thinking about customizing a sketchbook for my second cousin and giving it to her for Christmas. Oh, space for art and thoughts and whatever, just for her eyes. Yeah, that is a nice gift. I like that idea. I like it a lot. I can hear Mr. Jim buzzing about now. Way to check his cows. To make sure everyone is the right way up. Okay, this is going a bit better. Good for that. Starting to get a complex. That's totally not dry enough. Totally not. I need to leave everything alone. Like, just leave it, leave it alone, Jim. Leave it alone. I need to leave everything to dry properly because I'm lifting paint. I'm too impatient. That's basically what's wrong here. Everybody's going on about like we didn't get one in Scotland. I just saw it all over the news this morning, and it was all over Reddit, and people were like jumping out their skin. Like we didn't get one. But in saying that, we've been rained on significantly. It chucked it down yesterday morning, and as I said earlier, our weather forecast is for um unfortunately more rain next week. It'll be welcome in a sense, but not really. Like sod off. Right, okay, for the actual lantern, I might as well just finish filling this, and I'm quite aware of time now. I need to be finishing up just shortly. I want to go for an indigo colour for the actual lantern casing. So again, I'm looking for my blue paint like over there and it's literally right in front of me. So I'm going to start with this stone blue colour. Yeah, we're all in the Arteza paint this morning. This is such a lovely colour. And this is basically dragon without the sparkles type colour. I'll just show you there. Really nice colour. And I'd like a flat brush for that. That's too big, I need a small. I'm really needing to sort through these paintbrushes as well. This is one of my favourite brushes. This is this limited edition Calibri brush. Apparently they don't make them anymore. This brush. Absolutely love it. So I just want to mark in the frame here. This maybe further up there. Missed a bit under there with my yellow. I'm like, where do I start up here? I don't know the answer. Probably this section here, actually. Hi, Pip. Oh, you hear like dum 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 dum. Where again, this is the time where normally we're heading for a WALK, so that's why she's padding about. She's just such a little creature of habit. I'm not fighting against temperature this morning either. When it gets pretty warm, for Jock especially, Jock's got a dicky ticker. So we try to keep him out of any sort of heat stress at all, which his tolerance is getting lower and lower as he gets older as well. So there's been mornings where I've been taking them out at like 7 o'clock. Now, bearing in mind it's not ridiculously hot here, it's warm. But for Jock's sake, we like to get out early-ish, but there isn't the same sense of urgency today, which is really nice. I think that wee bit of rain yesterday, I mean, it only lasted about 3 or 4 minutes, but it was like a downpour. But I think it's just kind of like freshened us up a wee bit after Thursday, because Thursday was warm, warm. It was quite funny as well, because when I went into the supermarket yesterday, the lady at the checkout, it's not a big supermarket, so it's only a small town, my nearest town, and you know, I see the same staff, and the lady was saying to me that on Thursday that's the quietest shift she's ever had, and she's worked there for like 20 years. And she said, I think it was just too hot for most people. Which she's had a combination of that, and our children are back at school as well. We've got a slightly different schedule to the schools in England and Wales. Our kids finish earlier in the summer, um, therefore they go back earlier. So the kids only started back this week. So this lady was saying, you know, it's like obviously a combination of things. Be patient, dog. This is her. She's harassing me now. Like she's just walking in and out. She's like, hurry up and finish. Pip's internal clock is uncannily accurate. Normally it goes by her stomach, to be fair. Which is probably why it's accurate, because that's all the dog ever thinks about is her stomach. But I mean it's 26 minutes past 8, and say normally 8:30-ish is when we go out. So she's like, come on, mum, come on, mum. I'm just going to take this wee liner brush just because I've got it here. I just want to fill in this wee bit of yellow that I missed underneath here. There we go. Lovely. Your internal clock is set to your stomach as well. Anti-duty is important. Do you know what's funny? See, when the clocks change, it only takes Pip like 2 days, maybe not even, and she's got it sorted out. Like I swear blind that dog's all sorts of. How did I get brown paint on? Okay, like how did I get brown paint up there? But that makes perfect sense. Right, guys, I'm going to stop there. I need everything to dry a bit more before I continue on. But I'm glad that we've made a start. And I'm glad that we swatched out the autumn paints as well. It was quite exciting. So yes, thank you for joining me this morning. Neo can't tell the time by his stomach. Sometimes it's breakfast time at 6, sometimes it's after 8. It's funny, isn't it? Yeah, Pip's like scarily accurate. She really is. It's kind of annoying, honestly, because you do like if you're not there, she's just going to come and harass you until you do whatever it is she wants you to do. And then if it gets really bad, if you continue to ignore her, she starts sitting like this much off you, and she paws you, and then she starts talking to you. And once she starts talking, she never shuts up. And it's all this like this sort of series of like squeaks and growls and yeah. She's sitting just outside the door. I can feel her eyeballs boring into the back of my head. She's literally sitting at the door like this, like staring into the cave. I think she knows we're talking about her. Ah, jeez. That's hilarious. Oh, yeah, Collies and yeah, Collies. Well, I don't know because Jock's never bothered, but then Jock's never been particularly food motivated either. He's just not that kind of dog. Obviously very much not now. All he wants to do is like sleep and poop now. But even when he was younger, when he was a working dog, he wasn't that bothered. It's like as long as he got fed at some point, it was fine, you know. Right, guys, that's it for today. I am going to try, like, I've got so much to do. I'm trying to get some videos together, and I don't have time just now. And I want to have time, and I need to have time, but it's not happening. I'm going to continue to try and chip away at getting a video together, even if it's just, you know, if it takes me all week. From now, it's work in progress Wednesdays for our streams. I say I will get a video out at some point. I'm actually trying to, like, I've started 3, so I'm trying to kind of get them all together at the same time and edit them all at the same time, and then I can schedule them, you know, I can space them out over the next couple of weeks. But say we're so bound by the weather just now, and say flinging a hospital appointment or 2 for myself. It's not great just now, but we will get there. And I want to continue on with this. There's a few other bits and bobs that I want to chip away at as well. I've got lots. I'm back to having lots of works in progresses floating about. So maybe need to spend some time outside of the stream and actually finish those things. But again, it's just finding it. So anyway, thank you so much for your chats today. Angela has to work on Wednesday, so miss the stream. Catch up after work. That's all right. That's what we're here for. You're very welcome, Jan. Oh, pink on her hands. Yay! And we'll catch up again really soon. So please enjoy the weekend, everyone. I hope it's not too warm for most of you that have been struggling, because I really do. I feel for you a lot. And I'll catch you back in the cave really soon. Probably for another live stream, not a video. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks again. We'll see you later.